friends, or which it started that way. I was like, there's got to be more. Teach me this. I wanted to understand the foundation so much, but with great scholars and rabbis who have done that for me and helped me understand Jewish thought. So that's so important to understand the Bible and how it's being
Christianity emerged. It emerged from its Judaic roots. I mean,
you came from Judaic roots, Goyim. Christian, that's in the Christians coping online. There's no such thing as Judeo-Christian. Sure. Just say complete gaslight us and lie to yourselves and be in cope and denial and deny the obvious that everybody knows. Christianity emerged from Judaism.
Who have done that for me and helped me understand Jewish thought. So that's so important to understand the Bible and how it's being
Christianity emerged. It emerged from its Judaic roots. I mean, Jesus was teaching in the Galilee.
Absolutely.
And as I said, if you come to Israel, you'll see two things that will amaze you.
They're protecting Christians. Remember when he did the video? I think he was like wishing a Merry Christmas to all of his Christian slaves in America. He said, come, I'll give you a guided tour. I'll be your tour guide throughout all the Christian holy sites that we protect in Israel and our Judeo-Christian values.
Now I have a proposition for all our Christian friends. I'm going to take, next year in Christmas, for those of you who come to Israel, I'm going to take a guided tour. In fact, I'll be your guide on this guided tour. And think of all the places you can walk. You can go to the Jesus boat in the Sea of Galilee.
Look, by the way, Trump's faith advisor, Christians must learn from Jews, not convert them. She believes Trump was God's answer to prayer, and she said he was and is appointed by God to lead America. To what? Destruction? To its end? Learn from Jews, she says. Hey, White House Faith Council. No big deal. They're not real Christians. Don't worry about it, Goyim.
You'll see the very places where Jesus taught and preached. The actual places. The buildings he was in. The second thing that will happen is you'll see the Jesus boat, I call it. Did you saw it?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the Jesus boat, you know?
Nothing they hate more. They can't even say his name. No, here he is groveling about Jesus. So Dennis Prager, Ben Shapiro, every big Zionist shill, Netanyahu. Oh, we're here. You know, he's trying to milk the Christians and control the Christians through Christianity, which is what is always set up and intended to do.
You can get to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre right behind me. Any places that you want to visit in the footsteps of Jesus and the origin of our Judeo-Christian heritage. So please come to Israel next year in Jerusalem, and Merry Christmas to all of you.
I'm talking to a Christian audience, and I'm trying to...
She was married to Benny Hinn, too, one of the most wild Christian Zionists, who I think is actually Jewish or part Jewish. Endless hours of rabbis saying how Jesus is part of their plan, playing an important role, Judaizing the world, conquering idol worship, Netanyahu shilling Jesus, and how Jesus walked around and taught the Torah in Israel. All the biggest Zionist shills shilling Jesus. Church on every corner, TV guides, cover a magazine at the checkout stand. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Messianic Jews promoting Jesus all over the internet. But no, the people exposing it all and exposing the whole deception, they're the Jewish psyop. Okay. Keep lying to yourselves.
The actual places, the buildings he was in. The second thing that will happen is you'll see the Jesus boat, I call it. Did you saw it?
Yes.
Okay,
Jesus
so
boat?
Jesus boat?
Now I have a proposition for all our Christian friends. I'm going to take, next year in Christmas, for those of you who come to Israel, I'm going to take a guided tour. In fact, I'll be your guide on this guided tour. And think of all the places you can walk. You can go to the Jesus boat in the Sea of Galilee.
You know, I'm talking to a Christian audience, and I'm trying to get you to come to Israel or get you to get into this podcast that I'm going to do for the Bible, now that we've decided that. One day we had a drought in the Sea of Galilee, and the water level went down. And on the muddy banks of the Sea of Galilee, something was protruding. And it turned out that this was the remnants of an ancient fishing boat, okay?
Oh, they found Jesus' boat.
And we took it out and took care of it, you know, protected and so on. And now it's...
Look at what she used to look like.
Very close to the place where it was discovered. We took...
Dude, is he really shilling? Hey, guys, I guess it's settled. Jesus definitely existed. Netanyahu found Jesus' boat. Confirmed. Jesus lived. The boat stories are real. Netanyahu's confirmed it. The Israelis and Netanyahu have now proved Jesus existed, guys. Trust the plan. Nothing they hate more. Here he is trying to get you to believe in the Jesus boat. No big deal, guys. Nothing to see here. Netanyahu shilling the Jesus boat. Greatest ally, Judeo-Christian values, blah, 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 blah.
Out and took care of it, you know, protected and so on. And now it stands in a special museum very close to the place where it was discovered. We took the carbon dating of that, and it's plus minus 20 years from the time of Jesus. So people said, well, you don't know that Jesus was on it. And I said, you don't know that he wasn't.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
but it's the kind of the boat that Jesus used, when proselytizing to the faithful on the banks of the Sea of Galilee and in the water.
The
That
faithful.
has to be seen. So everything.
They just found some random old boat, and Netanyahu is shilling this as a tourist trap to Christians. Dude, this is like the most. Somebody clip this and say there's nothing they hate more. Netanyahu shilling the tourist traps in Israel for Jesus. Jesus artifacts. Next, it's going to be like, oh, and on that boat, we found Jesus's foreskin. What's next? He's going to be promoting the Shroud of Turin? The Jesus boat. Turns out it's just any boat, but he'll say it's Jesus's boat. When he was proselytizing to the faithful. When he was converting the Goyim, calling the Goyim dogs.
The boat that Jesus used.
Grifting with Jesus. Yeah, pandering to Christians with Jesus.
And proselytizing to the faithful on the.
He's like, this is literally the boat. We carbon dated it. This is the boat that Jesus walked on water. Remember that story when the magical super messiah walked on water, Goy? Nothing gets Christians fired up more than foreskin investigations. Yeah, I know. HT's been saying that they had a penis party for because he wasn't Jewish, even though Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, was circumcised on the 8th day, that he had a penis party. And if they were doing what is it, Benai, whatever it's called, the foreskin, the stopping of the bleeding with the mouth of the genitalia, if they were doing that, Brit Milah, right? That's what it's called, Brit Milah. If they were doing that at that time, Jesus got Brit Milad. They found Jesus's DNA on the boat.
Banks of the Sea of Galilee and in the water. That has to be seen. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're a Christian and you study the Bible and you're a believer and you want to immerse yourself in the common origins of our heritage, then come to Israel and see the actual places where all these things took place, and also learn the facts about ancient Israel and modern Israel.
And support us. Believe in Jesus and support us. That's what he's saying. Okay, guys, does it not get any more obvious now? And they'll be like, well, Netanyahu only likes the Zionists. Sure. No, actually not true. He also knows the benefit of the retarded Christian-controlled op, and I wouldn't doubt it for a second that they are botting all of the bullshit we see online. We know there are bots out there. They're not botting our stuff. Our stuff isn't getting tens of thousands of likes. As long as they accept the Torah. Jesus isn't Jewish. Israelites were European. Christianity is the only opposition to Jews. Jews are pagans. There's nothing they hate more than Jesus. So funny. Look at him. He's just like, oh, stupid goy. And then in the secret recordings, he's like, it's absurd. 80% of America does whatever we say. All these stupid Christians. Greatest ally, Judeo-Christian values, blah, 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 blah.
I'll always be here for you.